Hi, I'm Alan Brito from Blender 3D Architect, and welcome to this tutorial about CAD. Let's step aside for a moment from Blender and talk about a common or an important subject related to architecture and design, which is CAD. You can't really work or do much in this field if you don't have a good CAD solution. And whenever I'm explaining Blender or saying how good open source tools are, a topic that often comes up is, well, what about CAD? How can I migrate? How can I replace AutoCAD with an open source tool? And there are many options. You have LibreCAD, you have QCAD, which is the one that I have open here. There are many others. QCAD is a tool that I like to use because it is often updated. It has a reasonable community, and you will find most of the tools that you need to create an architectural or design or engineering project here in QCAD. Of course, it's not an AutoCAD clone. You won't find, for instance, many tools and resources that you have in AutoCAD here in QCAD. For instance, you don't have dynamic input, you don't have polar tracking and other tools that you will find in AutoCAD. But the main question and the main reason that most people choose QCAD in comparison with AutoCAD, for instance, is, well, can it deliver? Yes, at the end of the day, that's what really matters. It can deliver, it can help you develop projects. QCAD has two versions. It has an open source version, which is the one that I have here, and it have a professional version, which has many more features, but it requires a payment of a small fee to the company that maintains QCAD. But you can use the free and open source too. And I'm willing to make a series of videos, a series of tutorials showing you how to use and comparing them with AutoCAD. So that's why I have AutoCAD here on the left and QCAD on my right. So we can draw a simple room just to give you an idea of the differences. So we can start by making the drawing in AutoCAD. That's what I usually do. I start creating a room or a drawing and make a comparison. This is great if you are trying to migrate from AutoCAD into QCAD. And here I will draw a square. We can start with this rectangle. It's 10 by 5. We can go with an offset 0.15, and I will make this extrude or this extrude, no, offset. To the interior, I will make another offset here, 0.3, and I will repeat the same offset with 0.8. We can start with a trim just to create this simple room. And there we go. Not explaining, I just use it basically two tools here. I used the offset and the trim to cut my lines. I haven't created any layers, anything, just a plain drawing. And now let's try to do the same thing here in QCAD. What I'll be doing here, I will be using the polygon tool. I can use either the rectangle or rectangle with size. And instead, of course, of using the dynamic input like in AutoCAD, we have here this context toolbar where I can set the width and height of my rectangle. You can even pick a reference point. Let's try the top left. And it's drawing this line as a polyline. Not sure if you saw. Let me go back. It's creating a polyline. And we have, as well as from just like AutoCAD, we have an offset tool, which is here. You can also use the command line. Just press spacebar and you can call the commands for each one of those tools. And of course, most of them here, they also have shortcuts. Hotkeys. Offset is OF. Let's use a 0.15 here. I can create an offset to the interior. And after the offset, we can connect them both with this trim both tool. Can click into each one of the lines to connect them. I can now create a line here. If you press and hold the Alt key, it will turn on an ortho mode for QCAD, just like we have in AutoCAD, which you can use with the F8 key. But here in QCAD, you have to use the Alt key. And we can keep using the offset 0.3 like I used in AutoCAD, and now 0.8 to draw the space of the door. I can delete this line and we can cut these lines here. I will explode this polyline first. And we can use the breakout segments and click in each one of the lines. And there we go. Same drawing, exact same thing in AutoCAD and QCAD. It can do the exact same projects. It can do the exact same shapes. Of course, they are not, QCAD is not trying to be a clone of AutoCAD, but for many cases in most of your needs, you will find all of the tools that you can use, that you need to create, to develop an architecture or design project, an engineering project. You can do everything here in QCAD. And that's it. I hope you liked this quick comparison. I will do more tutorials like this one in the future, where I compare a tool like AutoCAD and Revit and SketchUp and others with open source solutions, where you will find that they can do the exact same thing but in a different way. And if you want to learn QCAD, I will place here in the description of the video, I do have a workshop about QCAD. I develop a full project using QCAD. I also have books in English, Spanish, and Portuguese about the use of QCAD for technical drawing. I hope you like it, and if you want to see more tutorials like this in the future, don't forget to like this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. I see you next time.